Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Tennessee State Museum Storytime with Miss Morgan. I can't believe it. It is our last story time of the year. It is December 2021. Man, this year has flown by, and I am so glad that I got to spend it with you guys. You have been so wonderful, and I just love being able to read to you guys every month. So our story today, we are going to zoom across Tennessee with Santa. So if you guys are ready, let's sit up nice and tall, and let's get started. Well, Boom Santa, have all the children from Tennessee been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that children of Tennessee had sent him. Mostly, asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Even though the stack of presents was really big and the elves were really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know, but somehow they did. Splendid, Boom Santa, we are ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said one of the little elves. One of our reindeer is missing. Uh-oh. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up munching a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for Tennessee. This will guide us to Tennessee in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Do you guys see what he's munching on? It's a nice, juicy carrot. With a flick of his reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these presents delivered to the volunteer state. If you're not from Tennessee and you're joining us, Tennessee is known as a volunteer state. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the Arctic Ocean. On they flew in the crisp wintry air, crossing over Canada, and in the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above the Great Lakes and on over Kentucky. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. They were just crossing Old Hickory Lake when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes swirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said the Santa Nav's lady's voice, keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Uh-oh. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with the little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Whoa, cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? And then to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be Belmont University's bell tower in Nashville. Don't worry, children, Santa's coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. You have arrived, the Santa Nav said unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were, stuck right at the very top of the dome of the Tennessee State Capitol. Everybody pull! The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the dome and Santa steered them safely across the rail tracks, past Vanderbilt University, over the Parthenon, and down into Centennial Park. You guys look, here is our Tennessee State Capitol, which we can see from the museum here, which is really neat. Luckily, there was no damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents and put them in order again. All right, said Santa, thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry. Children, Santa is coming. Say, phew, glad that all got straightened out. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Tennessee, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go. There are big chimneys in Memphis and small chimneys in Kingsport. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Chattanooga and plummeted down fat chimneys in Cookeville. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Tennessee were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry, too. That's a lot of work. I think I'd be hungry, too. In house after house, Santa delved into his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Tennessee had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big, crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie, a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Clarksville to Knoxville, from Dollywood to Graceland, from Gatlinburg to Gallatin, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Tennessee. All right, guys, let's look. We have, that's the Suns in Knoxville. And let's see. Here's down. That's the Batman building in Nashville. And there's the Ryman and the Parthenon and the Grand Ole Opry House. Wow. Oh, look, and there's the aquarium in Chattanooga. How cool is that? Santa delivered presents to Andrew, Allison, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley, and the list went on and on. Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, and Zibble. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Tennessee list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight, and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I hadn't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset the Santa nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above the Lost Sea, over the Appalachian Trail, and over the Great Smoky Mountains to the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, Tennessee. The end. Wasn't that a fun story? I think this was a cool story because you get to learn a lot about some really cool places here in Tennessee. He went all over the place. So I think that's really neat. And I really hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. So for our art this week, at Christmas time, we usually put ornaments on our trees, right, guys? Or maybe you don't have a tree, maybe you have a Christmas garland across your window. So wherever you put your ornaments, I thought we would make something really cool to put on our tree today. So we are going to make no-sew felt ornaments. So what you'll need is some felt, and I have some paint, but really, you guys, you can use markers, you can use stickers, you can use whatever you have at your house, and you just cut out the shape you want. So I made a Christmas star one, and what you do is you will poke a little hole at the top and string your yarn through it, and then you can place this on your tree. Now, if you don't have felt, that's okay. You can still make an ornament. I took a piece of paper and cut out a stocking and just colored it, and what I'll do is I'll poke a hole and I'll hang it on my tree that way. Make sure on the back you put the date, so when you look at this ornament in 10 years, you can remember, oh yes, I made this in 2021 when I was 6 years old. It's really cool. I still have ornaments from when I was a kid, and it's really neat to look at them. If you say have some other materials, like this is foam, and I had some stickers, so I made a dreidel. And I can stick this on my tree, or maybe I don't celebrate Christmas, and that's okay. So I can take my dreidel here, and I can put it on my window, or I can hang it in my house somewhere. So whether you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, have fun, make an ornament, and you can hang it in your window, you can give it to a friend, just have fun. Because remember, it's your art, and you can do what you like. So I hope you guys have fun making them, as much fun as I did, and I can't wait to put these on my tree when I get home. So before we leave today, let's check out our artifact. So if you look right here, you'll see this really cool artifact. This is from our new exhibit called Tea and Crafts, and it's by Mr. Armstrong, and it is felt animals. So Mr. Armstrong takes felt, so that's why our art for today was no-sew felt ornaments, and he takes felt and he creates these really fun art pieces with animals. So this one is about prom. So you can see our two little animals here are headed off to prom, and they're getting their picture taken, and everybody's looking at how pretty they are. And it's just a really fun art piece, and it's one of my favorites upstairs in our exhibit. So if you come to visit us, you can see some of his pieces upstairs in the exhibit, and as well as a lot of our other really cool art pieces we have in that exhibit. So hope you guys have enjoyed our art today and our story, and I am so happy that I was able to join you guys today, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the year, and I will see you next year in 2022. You guys be safe and have a happy holidays. Bye, guys.